The Peloponnesian War is in full swing, and the Greek world has plunged into chaos. Is this mythological world worth saving? Let's find out in this Busy Gamer review of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Welcome back to No Time Gamer. If you're new here, hit subscribe to get more reviews and content for busy gamers to make sure your gaming sessions are time well spent. With Assassin's Creed Valhalla releasing in just a few months, we thought we would hop back into the Animus to see if the previous entry, Odyssey, is worth playing until then. Athens and Sparta are interlocked in a Hellenic battle over land and sea, and you are planted right into the center of the conflict. You choose between Cassandra and her brother Alexios and set sail across the Aegean Sea to restore order to the region and reunite your family. The character you choose will not alter the story, besides swapping which character you control and which one is an AI in the story. Both have identical stats in every way, and each receive the same choices in the story. However, despite Alexios being on the game cover, Cassandra is the canon character in the story of Assassin's Creed. Like the previous and next entry, Odyssey is a role-playing game with loads of side quests, choices, and customization of playstyles, unlike the mostly linear games that the series was known for in the past. You can choose between being a melee brute maniac, a ranged warrior taking out enemies with bows, an assassin lurking in the shadows and picking off your enemies one by one, or a combination of the three. And you can change styles whenever you want by resetting your ability selections at the cost of a little gold. As you traverse across the Greek peninsula and the surrounding islands, you'll explore the fabled locations of the myths and history like the Acropolis of Athens, the statue of Zeus in Olympia, and the Temple of Apollo at Delphi. Experience the Athenian Agora, or visit Odysseus' palace and the tomb of Agamemnon. The world is stuffed full of these famed locations, and these sites are brought to life with historical characters like Alcibiades, Herodotus, Pericles, and Plato, each with their own quests and unique contributions to the main story of the game. Along with the real people, there are also epic battles against the many beasts and creatures of the times. But we'll leave those surprises to you because discovering and fighting against each of those bosses is an adventure in themselves. As far as gameplay goes, it does have a lot of repetition. Clearing forts, doing fetch quests, assassinating politicians, and fighting other mercenaries are repeated quite often, so it can get boring if you don't enjoy traveling around the world and seeing what all it has to offer from a historical perspective. Also, fans of the older Assassin's Creed games might not enjoy the new direction of the current stable of AC games. That's a fair complaint because the game is far more RPG and less stealth than previous entries in the series. New ways to engage in combat, long lines of skill progressions, unlockable abilities, and choices to change how the story progresses are fun systems, but a departure from the AC games of old. If the game was just considered an RPG based in ancient Greece, it would probably be considered a great game universally. But since it is such a big deviation from the original series, it's easy to see why some fans may not be interested. As an RPG-heavy title, this game could have you playing for hundreds of hours should you find the time to do so, but it isn't required to have an enjoyable experience. Play on guided mode to stay on track, lower the difficulty and reduce the scaling level so you stay stronger than the enemies and have your epic Greek power fantasy. Or even just play through the Discovery Mode tour to travel freely across the world without quests or enemies and learn about the world through curated kiosks. There's a lot to do, but it doesn't mean you have to play it all. So for busy gamers, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is time mostly well spent. Do you enjoy the new style of Assassin's Creed games? Let us know in the comments. Since you're here, go ahead and watch our video about why we're excited for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.